we screamed, "Whoa, whoa, 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 stop, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa." And sure enough, boom. I was devastated. Okay, story time. So my wife and I were about to wrap up our time in Austin. I had been there about 7 years. She grew up there, but we were both ready to move and try a new city. So basically, as a celebration, something I had always wanted to do was rent a Ferrari. And as kind of a last hurrah, I was able to find a decent rental on Turo for a 2010 Ferrari California. And I thought, the hell with it, why not? I've always wanted to do this. It was reasonably priced, so it was $500 for a 24-hour rental. 200 miles were allotted. Normally that's a ton of money for a rental car, but this wasn't just a rental car, it was a whole experience. So about this 2010 Ferrari California. At first, I was a little bit skeptical or apprehensive. I wasn't sure whether or not the California would kind of live up to the name Ferrari. I had driven, a 458 and a 430, and those are both more, higher powered sports cars, supercars, whereas the California is more of a GT. It's more of a cruiser. It's a front engine. So I wasn't sure if it would kind of live up and feel as quick and give me that excitement as the other cars did. Luckily, I was wrong. It was every bit of Ferrari as I had hoped and more. So we showed up on Saturday around noon to pick up the car. The weather was beautiful. It was mid-70s, sunshine all weekend. Really couldn't have asked for a better forecast. We go to this industrial park where the car is, and turns out it's in this building with a fleet of other supercars and high-performance cars that they were renting out. So the place seemed really legit. The guy was very friendly. Everything seemed great. There was nothing shady about it. The car looked beautiful. It looked even better than it did in pictures. Bright, shiny red convertible Ferrari. What more could you ask for? Obviously, at this point, I hadn't driven it yet, but the guy started it up, walked us through it, told me the ins and outs, and really it was all looking good from here. I was so excited. After he gave us the walkthrough, I got in the car. I got in the Ferrari, started it up, put the top down. My wife got in her car, and we headed home. I could not take the grin off my face. I mean, it was amazing. It was a great feeling. I couldn't wait to kind of get back home so we could get my wife in the car and we could actually start getting out and doing things. So the plan was to drive the car as much as possible. Obviously, I had to stay within 200 miles or else I'd be charged per mile after that. But the plan was to go out on some really twisty roads, some canyon roads, really drive and experience the car, take it to places with nice views, maybe take it to dinner or out to eat, but I certainly didn't want to take it somewhere where I had to park it and leave it. I wanted to have full view of the car pretty much at all times. But yeah, the plan was just to kind of have a full experience with the car, really as if I was an owner for a day. So on this first day, everything went amazingly. I mean, we took it out on some canyon roads. First of all, just banging through those gears, those paddle shifters for a V8, any Ferrari, but it's an Italian symphony. It's amazing. By the way, everywhere we took it, I made sure that when we parked, I could see it, and I would sit in the restaurant or wherever we were, facing the window, so I could have a view of it right behind my wife. She understood that. I was not going to valet it or do anything, park it in any tight spots. Definitely didn't want anything to happen to it. I was being extremely cautious. So anywhere we went was I made sure that everything was planned beforehand. So we took it to coffee, we took it on a drive, we took it to then a an outdoor restaurant where, again, we were sitting outside. The parking lot was fairly big, so I could see the car, and I really just didn't want to leave it anywhere. Contrary to popular belief in the supercar world, and even I thought this beforehand, which was, why would you ever want to listen to music, right? You're in a Ferrari, you're in a supercar. The music is the symphony of the engine. And that's fully true. That's very true. However, once you've experienced that Italian symphony for a while, and especially if you're with your significant other, in this case I was with my wife, there does come a time where you do want to just cruise and maybe throw on some tunes. You're not always banging through the gears going really fast. You want to just relax and experience it in a different way, especially a front-engine GT Ferrari with the top down. So basically, when it was dusk, it really felt amazing to have the music on and just cruise around the neighborhoods. We went through a lot of the wealthy neighborhoods in Austin and just looked at the houses, looked at the views, the nature. Oh, it was incredible. So basically, everything went perfect on the first day. We were able to take it on some cool roads. We were able to take it out to eat. We were able to listen to music and drive with the top down and the top up. We were able to go out and just have a full Ferrari experience. And then Sunday morning. Okay, so the day of the incident. The plan for Sunday was to wake up fairly early, not too early, but just get on the road. Sunday mornings are obviously the best time to drive because the fewest cars are out there. There's basically no one on the road. So the plan was to wake up, get some coffee just at a local Starbucks because that was the closest coffee shop, and I didn't want to go anywhere where I was unfamiliar with or where I'd have to, risk any parking issues. So went to the local Starbucks. That was the plan. And then just to go out driving, go hit up the Oasis with some really cool views and just continue and finish off the last few hours with the car, just having fun in the sunshine on a Sunday morning, a great Sunday morning drive. So we pulled up, parked the car right in front of the Starbucks, and there were some chairs, outdoor chairs right nearby. So we go in, get our coffee. I always get iced coffee. So we get our coffee, we go back outside, we sit in the chairs, the Adirondack chairs, and I literally am facing the Ferrari. We're both lined up so we can see it. I put my feet up. I mean, it's just amazing. It's Sunday morning. It's around 7:30, not even. Barely anyone there. Just us drinking our coffee, looking at the Ferrari, super excited about what's to come. Another, Sunday morning drive. So we finish our drinks. I grab the key from my pocket. I was just feeling so content with life, so peaceful, and so ready to go, ready to hit the road and start driving. So we head over to the car, start the car up, put the top down. My wife and I look at each other. We're ready to go. This is fun. So we back up. We pull out of the spot. Notice there's one other car in the parking lot, a black Prius, and they are fairly a bit ahead of us, and they head out to the exit. And so we head out kind of behind them. Now I noticed when we pulled up to the exit, which was, you're exiting the plaza onto the main road, and there's a traffic light. So you can't just go out. You have to wait for the light, obviously, to turn green. And there's two lanes. There's a left lane and a right lane to exit the plaza. And you can go straight. I think the right lane was a straight and right only, whereas the left lane was a left only. And when we pulled up kind of at an angle behind this black Prius, who was the first and only car in line to exit the plaza, they were parked in the middle of the two lanes, so basically on the white line. In other words, it was unclear which way they were going to turn. They didn't have their blinker on, but I didn't think much of it. I just pulled up, kind of kept some distance. I was at about a 45-degree angle behind them, so I wasn't right behind them. And again, at this point, I'm not thinking about this at all. It's just we're excited. We're ready to go. So we're waiting for the light to turn green, waiting, having a good time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this Prius starts backing up in the middle of the road in a place where no one would ever back up. You would never expect someone to back up. They just start backing up. We could not believe it. We screamed, "Whoa, whoa, 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 stop, whoa, whoa, whoa." I mean, the top was down. I could not believe it. My heart sunk. in the moment, I was like, I had the thought and the feeling like, oh my God, this is actually happening. Someone is backing up into my Ferrari. Of course, it wasn't mine, but holy crap. Holy crap. It was the worst feeling. My heart sunk. I fumbled for the horn and the reverse button, but it was a matter of seconds between when they started backing up and when they hit us. And sure enough, boom, they crunched our hood. I was devastated. Now, the horn and the reverse, most of the controls on this car were not where you normally expect them, so I wasn't like, it wasn't muscle memory to me in terms of, normally you go like this to hit the horn. The horn in the Ferrari was with your thumbs, so I didn't immediately smash on those. I mean, it was as if two people had gone out into a desert miles away from each other and somehow ended up crashing into each other despite being the only people out there. It was beyond comprehension. I was beside myself. And at this point, my wife, she wasn't so shooken up by the event. She was just worried about me because she knew how important this was to me. Anyways, we back up, we pull over into a parking spot, plenty of parking spots. Out of the black Prius comes two young girls. Turns out they were around 17. The driver of the car was like, oh my God, I just hit a Ferrari. Oh my God, I just hit a Ferrari. I'm like, yeah, you did. You backed into us. I was pretty calm on the outside. On the inside, I was fuming, and I was in denial. I mean, I couldn't, it's not like we were in some busy parking lot, like in a crowded mall or in a tight, valet's area. There was no one out there except us, and there was no reason for her to back up from the light and just, without even looking, just start backing up. Anyways, she's kind of in distress. I am, but on the inside. We start exchanging papers. We take pictures. I contact Turo, the renters. I tell them what happened. We start making some phone calls, taking a ton of pictures, exchanging information, yada, 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 all the stuff you do when you get in an accident. Luckily, no one was hurt, but honestly, I mean, this wasn't even remotely close to a situation where someone would get hurt. There was no need to call the police or obviously no need to call the ambulance or anything. So after we got the information, it was just like, okay, now it's in the hands of the insurance and we have to kind of take it from there once we start dealing with that. But for the next couple hours, I had the car for, again, this was at like 7:30 in the morning. We had the car till noon. So we had another 4 hours or so. Luckily, the car was still drivable. Obviously, that could have been a lot worse. It would have been horrible if they had backed up and, knocked off the whole front bumper or something crazy like that. Luckily, it ended up being some paint scratches, some dents, some dings. I was told that the whole car was PPF'd, so I don't know how the repairs looked, but it's possible that they didn't even have to repair any paintwork. It was just a PPF. I don't know. But I was not able to fully enjoy the rest of the day. I mean, I tried, and I really wanted to, but despite being able to drive still and go out on some more canyon roads, it was just in the back of my mind, like, I'm driving a damaged Ferrari, and I don't know how it's going to be to deal with this. At the time, I didn't know if I was going to get my deposit back, if I would be, I mean, I knew I wasn't at fault in the slightest, but I didn't know how easy that would be to prove, or just, there were a lot of factors that I just wasn't sure of at the time. So it was like, I got to deal with this. So needless to say, the rest of the day was just soured. Did my best to enjoy, but really just wasn't able to that much. All in all, after about a week of dealing with it, of talking to Turo, of talking to the insurance agent, ultimately everything worked out. I was very pleased with how the Turo folks on my side, the rental guys, handled it. They were not upset in any way, or at least they didn't show it. They were professional. I did my part by speaking to the insurance agents. I got my deposit back completely, I was fine, no blame at all, nothing on my record, rightly so. I have no idea what happened with the girl and her insurance. I'm sure she saw a little bump in premium. I don't know what kind of repair they had to do on the car, on the Ferrari. I was just glad that I walked away and everything was handled, because it was not a good experience. And on one hand, I'm glad it wasn't my own car, but at the same time, I had to go through the experience of watching someone back into, at the time, my Ferrari, which was just, it was not a good feeling. I mean, I like to tell people now I have the full ownership experience. I was able to pick the car up, drive it on some crazy roads, take it to dinner, take it out to eat, take my wife in it, go to restaurants, park it in my garage overnight, wake up early, experience the day, and ultimately get hit. Wow, incredible. But I wouldn't have changed it. I had no regrets at all. It was really just it was a complete fluke, complete freak occurrence. Thank goodness no one was hurt. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's the story about how a 17-year-old girl backed into my rental Ferrari. Crazy story. I still can't believe it. But yeah, if you guys are supercar owners or if you plan on renting a supercar, just know that despite your best intentions, even if you plan on going where there's nobody else, someone could still back into you. All right, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the story. I'll see you on the next one.